Right, well, let's get going, shall we? One sec here. All together. Alright. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Clements 225 at the La Crosse Fairground Speedway. This 5/8 of a mile, fairly quick oval here in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Take your field of 25 as normal. On pole, Eli Bright, who's outside Sam Picard, Sebastian Kukulon, and Dale Lightning, row number 2. Diego Yepes and Gerard Lasseter, two Toyotas on row 3. Then we have Larry Hagan and 16 of Ryan Butcher. 67 of Stephen Taylor, 39 Jake Galloway, Landon Lyons, Jacob Edson, Colton Yo, Oliver Galloway, Aiden Burkhart, Luke Rainey, Marco Hara, TJ Smith, Zachary DeLello, Nathan Ormond, Alexander Rowe, Mitchell Collins, Jonathan Martin, Matt Johnson, and Brian McDonough rounds out your field. Someone's asking for acknowledgement. I see he's made a chat, but let's get this race going. With your command to start the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Thank you all for coming out tonight on stream, and we got 60 laps of racing for you. See what all these guys can do. Gonna be tough to pass at this track. Yes, it is an Illinois guy, and also Edson, I saw that. If there's more news being released, just keep me updated, guys. But we are green in the Clements 225 here from La Crosse. Ready, Sam Picard not off to the best of the starts on the outside. There's Sebastian Kukulon taking an early command of second. Here as he tries to hunt down the 50 of Eli Bright. Diego Yepes almost gets a little tail happy off the corner, but it's going to work underneath the 49 into 1 and 2. Going to try and clear him as the front two trying not to pull away as it's a pace car hit, but see most of the field still 2x2 throughout. And the 94 now hunts on the 50. Like Picard got a little high through 3 and 4 that time, is more dropping back on the outside, but we'll be able to fight back. We'll see. As there's the 83 of Larry Hagan, someone who's been pretty quiet this season. He's going to fall back. And Hagan looking racy on the 25s. He's going to move him. Stream's laggy. Ugh. I don't know. Probably because my computer's a little off. But Hagan did not put anything on the 25 of Diego as he kind of slid up the track. Answer your texts. I'm not going to acknowledge you by name. I'm not going to be like that. But Eli Bright, however, here, off to an early lead on lap number 6. Sebastian Kukulon second, Diego Yepes third, Larry Hagan fourth. Up into 5th, Stephen Taylor. 6th is Landon Lyons, and Sam Picard still stuck on the outside. Can he do it? It'll be tough to see. Okay, Mr. John Paul Duna. Hagan now trying to fight back the 25 like he was just a couple laps ago. Let's take a look at the lap times they're putting around here. 19-second lap time so far. So, and look at the chat. I'm looking at the chat. I just try not to acknowledge it too much, you could say. Looks like the field so far spread out. Aiden Burkhart in 7th, O'Hara in 8th. You up to 9th, and still the outside's not where you want to be. DeLello able to move in line, but you're going to try and force it 3 wide here with Rowe. He's not. Does a smart thing and doesn't, but Sam continues to go up the track. Yes, I know who you are. Just chat, just don't try and interrupt in the middle of a broadcast. Know that. Mac Johnson started down the field, but he's made his way up so far. He's currently in the 14th spot. Yes, shut up, Sebastian. God. We got 11 people in here? Thank you, guys. That is definitely surprising. But you still see it's still side by side here and toward the back of the pack. Gerard Lasseter, Ryan Butcher, these guys started far up in the field. They are almost to the back of the pack. They're going to have tough days as Eli Bright now continuing to pull away in the 50 car. I don't think he's going to be challenged at all today. We're going to go on board here with Larry Hagan. So I hit the wrong car. There's Hagan. As he's going to work underneath the 25 of Diego Yepes here. Ooh, didn't get the good run in the 3, but 25 left the door open, and Hagan now underneath. Well, you know, Brandon, would have got people moving each other, but never showed me those AI tricks. Oh my God, please don't. Hagan in the 3rd. As I hit the wrong way. There's Diego still on the outside. Is he going to have any pressure from Steven Taylor? He will, so Yepes might be the next car falling into the outside trap as Taylor now working underneath the 25. He can't clear him in the 3, so... But Taylor now working for 4th, and that's 67 DeVilbiss Ford. To me, he has it. And Diego still can't fall in line, as now the 65 Landon Lyon's going to get underneath him. Go from a top shot. These two work side by side. Looks like Diego might have some time before Aiden Burghardt catches him. Landon can't quite clear off the corner. Diego's still on the outside, so trying to work the outside groove. Can't do much on it, though. And now Yepes falls in the line. Looking back through the rest of your field, Sam Picard continuing to lose spots down to 14th. He had started 2nd. And now Dale Lightning, who started in 4th, has made his way to the inside and is now moving past some guys. Mitchell Collins, someone who's having a poor season, so... He doesn't look like he's going to have a turnaround race today, as he's all the way back in 19th, but got some guys off the pace, especially Jake Galloway. He's in 24th, so Ryan Butcher with damage. How did Ryan Butcher get all this damage? We're going to look back and see. Had it for a long period of time here. Might have happened here on lap 14. They're 3 wide behind him, and they're going to get into each other off the corner, and Butcher hits the wall. Didn't hit it. Didn't hurt him that much, but it's going to hurt him in the long run because that car's got damage. But Eli now almost up to a half-second lead in the Golden Flake number 50 for New Shade Industries. It's owned by Cup Series driver Matthew Eves. Looking back, Landon Lyons now had a bad corner entry. He's going to slide up. Aiden Burghardt going to gain some time on the 65. As we are already 2/3 of the way into this race, closing in on halfway, is Diego going to put a look on the 7 here. He might. He's close enough to do it. Be interesting to see what he can do. I don't think Galloway got that much damage, though, as we look back. He's still holding in with this kind of, like, group of guys. Does have a little bit of right-side damage. That's not going to affect him too much, as McDonough almost tried to go underneath teammate Sam Picard. Thought better of it. If you go 3 wide here, you might get into the wall, as we saw that with Ryan Butcher, but looking back up to 25, Yepes not able to do anything on the 7 at Burghardt. Let's go on board Aiden for his challenge on Landon Lyons. Ooh, he got a little loose off 4, but he's going to be able to keep the momentum on the lower line, put it right underneath the 65 of Landon. Side by side after corner. Landon a little bit close to the wall, but not too far from it. Aiden's going to take this spot. Where's Diego in comparison to these guys? I think, unless Yepes puts a lap or two good in, no, he's not gonna. He's going to slide up the track, so this means Lyons should be able to fall in line, as definitely using all the track coming off the corners here at La Crosse. But speaking of closing, Larry Hagan continuing to hound the 94 of Sebastian Kukulani. He closed a little bit that lap, and if we take a look up there, on board the AutoZone 83 for Shea Hellickson Motorsports, Larry Hagan, the pride of Indiana in this series, can he do anything on the Colombian driver of Sebastian Kukulon in his Mazda? Kukulon has been a good threat this season. He's been up front a ton, but has not been able to win a race, as Ryan Butcher clearly off the pace. We see him here in the turns, and it's basically a straightaway back to Hagan, which means it's even less for Eli Bright. So we might see Butcher a lap car play into effect here in the Qualcomm race. I do not believe lap cars outside of maybe Mesa Marin have been a factor here in Qualcomm, as Butcher's just grenaded his engine. Ryan Butcher blowing up. Look out, race leaders. He's right in front of them. Are they going to get by him cleanly? Got to come down the track. Steven Taylor gets into him, and that's going to check up a ton of these guys. Rowe able to get a huge run, and Butcher needs to bring it down into the pits. Going to cut across the track in front of Colton, holding up Dale Lightning, but Butcher, with engine issues, is going to change the face of this race once again, as the 67 and 74 now have damage. But oh man, Eli Bright, I believe he just put on maybe a second lead now over Sebastian Kukulon. Let's see if the ticker updates as Butcher pulls it into his spot and disappears. As you do, but this race matures. Steven Taylor doesn't look to have too much damage from that altercation, but it really stacked these four up, as now Aiden Burkhart's going to get shuffled to the outside of this group. Coming down the front straightaway in the Clements 225, we have passed the halfway mark. Fastest lap does go to Aiden Burkhart and Landon Lyons as well, so the two fastest are in this little cluster, Larry Hagan and Alexander Rowe as well, so it looks like all the front guys have the quickest cars today. Burkhart now falls to last in this chain, as Alexander Rowe and his Tama Drums and an Ancest Awada sponsored 84 takes over. Lovely velvet color on that 84. Is Ford, operated by Daler Racing. Kukulon, however, starting to close back in on Bright, but he does have still a lot of pressure from the 83 of Hagan. Can Larry do anything? He's right there. Is this going to be the pass for second we've been waiting for all race long? Coming in, Kukulon still holds the bottom. Hagan has to back off. Gonna lose a little bit of ground, though, because of it. Underneath, Hagan running an even lower line in 3 and 4. We haven't seen cars down there yet this race. Can Larry do anything over Sebastian? Gonna go on board once again. Will he be able to do it? Ooh, Sebastian was up the track a little bit. Don't think it's going to matter much as we go to a wide angle of the track here at La Crosse. Packed stands today, so credits these guys coming out. Wisconsin fans show their support strongly. Just looking back a little bit further Rowe and Burkhardt seem to drop off a little bit from Yepes and the 65 Landed Lions. Even farther back, Mac Johnson, Colton Yo basically running by themselves. Jacob Edson, Jonathan Martin, no contest for those positions, but still a lot of pressure going on in the back. Dale Lightning, Nathan Ormond. TJ Smith, Mitchell Collins. So Rudd Racing having a poor day. Luke Rainey as well. He kind of got screwed over at Williams Grove, and I had my little mess up there, but trying to rebound and scrap as much as he can get. But guy's doing really poorly this season. Basically a lot of bad luck for these three. And again, they're to the back once again. Sam Picard, Jake Galloway, and Zachary DeLello. But I don't believe they will be contest to be lapped, as Eli Bright's all the way down there. And actually, Steven Taylor has caught these two. So Hagan has passed Kukulon. Probably the battle we were all waiting for. We missed it, but Taylor has caught these two, so it's going to be a three-way battle for second here. As it's 2 seconds yet back to Diego. And Landon Lyon's going to lose a couple more spots on the outside, it appears. Unless he can get down in front of Burkhart, which he does, as he can be able to hold off the run. He will. Taylor now close on the 94. Cornered under him through 1 and 2. Is this going to give him the run down the backstretch? Ooh, doesn't look like it. Taylor still holds off. This is really Steven's first good race so far, I'd say, as obviously he had a good one going at Minnesota before his awful, awful crash. He thought about a look on Sebi, but Kukulon held him off. Yet again, a good race for the arguably the top Mazda team, the 94 and the 92, is Mac Johnson up in 9th. Lions now getting past Alexander Rowe. Put all this side-by-side battling between these three. It's not only allowed Yepes to pull away, but is Mac Johnson going to try and get on this in a lap or two as Hagan sticks his head in? So we continue watching as they come around to 10 to go. Eli Bright, so far, no challenge. We saw this at not only Mesa Marin, but at Caraway. The leader, virtually uncontested all race long. The pole, virtually, is the place you want to be. There's no pole sitter's curse in this league. And yes, I do agree. A lot of these paints look great, but I couldn't do it without the help of some of the guys like Brandon, Tibb, and JJ in them. And all three of these guys have cars in the top 10. Brandon made the 50, the 92. Tibb made the 83. And Jay made the 25 for his team. Eli Bright. Can he win this race by a second? That's the real challenge. Hagan has pulled away from Kukulon and Taylor. Taylor still has a chance at Kukulon, but Diego looks like he has solid 5th. Lyons, Burkhart, Rowe, and Johnson. These four are where you might see a position swap here in the closing laps, but look about even space so far. And these guys as well look to be set in order. Maybe Mitchell Collins could change. Zachary DeLello once again having a poor run. Team owner AJ Jones is not going to like that. DeLello's ride might be in contention for a new driver. We're going to go that far as Lasseterre gets pushed up to the outside by Collins. 6 to go in the race. Looks like Dale Lightning close on Jonathan Martin. This is for 12th. Lightning, who's done very well the last 2 races. Gonna have more of a cool-down race. Hey, Fitzy, Jefferson isn't in this series, but his car is, and it's driven by Diego, and that's currently running 5th. Taylor, close on Kukulon. Yet again, is the 67 going to try for a pass this time? Nothing in 1 and 2. Onto the back straightaway here in the Klements 225. He thought about it. He gave the car a little lean, but backed out of it before it looked like a serious attempt. Maybe trying to fake the Colombian out as the Brit now gonna dive it into 1 and 2. It's gonna be close. Kukulon held the door closed. 3 to go. Will the 67 make a move? He's starting to back off a little bit. But there's only 2 to go this time by in the Klements 225. Eli Bright, even though Hagen is starting to close, he's going to run out of laps. And boy, if only Martinsville went this fast with 60 laps. Kukulon now. It looks like he's going to be able to hold off Taylor as the white flag comes out. We have not used the visor cam all day, but like we did for Brian McDonough at Mesa Marin, we're going to take you along for the win. Eli Bright through 3 and 4, managed this car perfectly, put in 60 flawless laps. He's going to win the Klements 225 from La Crosse. Almost called it Mesa Marin. Who am I? Bill Weber? Eli Bright wins. Larry Hagen gets a second. Sebastian Kukulon drove a good race. He's in third. He was able to hold off Taylor, who finishes fourth. Yepes fifth. Lyons sixth. Burkhart seventh. In the number 7. Rowe eighth. Johnson ninth. And they're going to stack up here. Maybe, maybe not. But looks like they're all able to slow it down. Looks like a bunch of guys originally came in kind of fairly hot. But that is your finishing order. DeLello does not get last on track. That goes to last at Terror, but cars come down, and that will be the race. Finishing results here. Mark O'Hara as well dropped out with a gearbox issue, something we did not see, but Eli Bright is your winner. Well, I've had you guys here for long enough. Thank you all for coming out. Let's get you the results here in a moment. Caps. I know at one point we had 11 people here, so that makes me pretty happy. More important thing, we export this. Round... What is this, round 7? I believe it's round 7. Gotta go down to Williams Grove. Yeah, round 7. Yep, dude, you got 5th. Good run for you. Crosse. Swan, R5, NQS. I mean, do you want to see that replay? It's kind of dumb, man. Just from Martinsville, but the results are exported. I gotta double check now, but they are. Well, it doesn't matter. Here's your good old victory screen. Nice that they actually threw La Crosse up there. What track is this? Oh, this Williams Grove. What are you talking about? Can I not change the stream name? Oh, it's La Crosse time. I don't know what you're talking about. Go to the desktop. Track open score 4. Race 5. I don't care what I put. It's my results. Oh, I don't need stupid update. Qualcomm. Yeah, we're running at Dover, aren't we? Oh, I put round 5, whatever. It's just a save file. What track is this like? It's like Bristol, close enough. 86? That's pretty hot for April, but... Here are your results once again while I generate these up. And now, your standings. After 7 races, Aiden Burkhart takes the points lead back from Dale Lightning. However, they are tied. So, Lightning with his 1 win and 4 top 10s, 3 top 5s. I'm not sure why Lightning does not have the points lead. Probably because of averages, as Aiden has both the same finishing and starting average with 9.29. Lightning a little farther back, 9.57. Eli Bright gains 11 as he gets max points. He's up to 118. He's tied with Hagen as well for 4th. Looks like a consistent loss of 4s for Butcher, O'Hara, Galloway, Rainey. Tear down 6, Yo down 3. Mitchell Collins, Steven Taylor, even with 2 top 5s this season, he is still back in 24th. Not the year he wants. Mitchell Collins in a solid last now. As well, and in Lions, even though guys combined 4 top 5s behind him, no top 5s, he's still has 81 points. As it's holy moly, it's really close through here. These guys from 13th to 21st. You got 8 guys right there, fairly close in points to each other. But there's your standings. We've been through this long enough. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. And I should show you guys that replay, because I know Sam wanted to see it. But it's not on this mod. It's on... should be here. Yes, stump base car hits pit wall. I believe this was the middle of the Martinsville race. It was either that or one of the test races I did. It's nothing special, don't worry. Yep, there you go. Nothing special. Anything else I have in here? I have this. What could this be? Forgot what Crosse. Oh, it's Destruction Arena. Oh boy. Oh, that. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember now. Caesar. This is... you get around to the 8. This was the shot to watch it from. Solid crunch for an NR crash. But yeah, I'm going to call the stream here. It's kind of getting dead. Half hour, good length. So yeah, thank you all for watching Lacrosse. Appreciate it. And see you next time for the premiere of the Phoenix race, which is very interesting. Please watch. See you then.